Breaking news at 11. The man convicted of attacking former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband inside their San Francisco home has just been sentenced. Hello, I'm Amanda Del Castillo.
And I'm Kristen Z. Thanks for joining us. Court proceedings began only about an hour ago, and after victim impact statements from the Pelosi family, we now have a sentence.
ABC 7 News reporter Lena Howland was the first reporter on scene the morning Depape attacked Paul Pelosi with a hammer, fracturing his skull. And she's been following the story ever since. She joins us live from the federal courthouse in San Francisco with what's happening. Lena.
Well, I just stepped out of the courtroom only minutes ago, right after the judge has sentenced David Depape to 30 years in federal prison for this attack on Paul Pelosi. Now, just to give you a little more background of what just happened in the last hour in this courtroom, we also heard from the Pelosi family. Christine Pelosi, the daughter of Paul and Nancy Pelosi, read off two different victim impact statements, one from Nancy and one from Paul Pelosi. Neither Nancy or Paul were present in court, but their sentiments of how they are feeling today definitely reflected in those victim impact statements. In the letter, Paul described the horrific attack, his long-term injuries that he still struggles with today, and says he still hasn't discussed that attack with his wife, Nancy. Our cameras were not allowed inside of the courtroom today, but we can confirm that Depape was seated inside of the courtroom and was standing in front of the judge during this sentence. Now, police said that Paul Pelosi suffered a skull fracture after being hit in the head with a hammer by Depape. Prosecutors originally called for a 40-year prison sentence, while his lawyers, however, were calling for a 14-year sentence. So today we are learning that Depape has been sentenced to a total of 30 years for this federal case. But of course, as we know, he is still facing state charges. He is facing a separate trial on those state charges, including attempted murder. If he is convicted on those state charges, he could be facing life in prison.